My biggest fear is being the same as everyone else.
Boredom and mediocrity scare me way more than climbing Everest or being shot at.
To be successful in life, you have to be able to face your fears. You have to be able to step outside of your comfort zone. Today's video with Wes Grant and Jay Morton talks about exactly that. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can now get the Rise and Grind t-shirts, and the whole new gym series is out. Link in the description. Before that, let's talk about facing your fears with two of the best guys for the job. Jay Morton, ex-SAS Special Forces, and Wes Grant. Some call him the Invincible Man. Let's jump into the video.
Fear generally only happens for like a short period of time, because there's usually a logical explanation that you can put to why you're feeling that fear, whether it's a round that's just cracked over your head or something that's just exploded, or maybe there's some rock fall on a mountain. Like, that's a moment to be scared, right? But there's a logical explanation for it, and there's usually an action that you can take which is going to get you out of that fear feeling and get you to some sort of safety. So you've got to break it down that way. I think kind of the things that scare me more than those dangerous kind of things are just like living a stagnant life or living a boring life. Like boredom and mediocrity scare me way more than climbing Everest or being shot at. And I think I'd hate to just get to the age of 80 or 90 years old or 100 and just turn back and just think that I've wasted time. You've got to be honest with yourself, right? It's your choice, it's your life, no one else is going to change it. So you've got to make that decision. And then it's, if you're not happy with your life and you want to change it, then do it, right? And I don't know what that is, what anyone else is feeling, but if you start small, and whether it's you want to get in shape, start walking, start trying to create habits that are healthy for your body and for your mind. Start walking, join a gym, join classes, put yourself in these situations. And this is where you grow, right? Because you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. And my uncomfortable situation is completely different to someone else's uncomfortable situation. And you could say that a million times over. And career's a big one, right? That's the comfiest thing that people have, is a career and money coming in, because that's, without money, the chances of being homeless and not being able to pay for food for your kids and your family, that's the biggest fear, right? And I can't tell anyone to change that. You've just got to ask yourself whether that's something that you want to change. Going back to what we were saying before, it's the world's an easy place to live in. I don't think the human body's set up to not feel struggle. We've struggled all our life, right? And if you think the reason why we're all sat in these buildings and eating good food is because we struggled in the past, and that struggle has generated systems and put things in place, and now we've built supermarkets and cars, but that all came from struggle. So good things come from struggle. But it's hard to find it these days. So it goes back to what I was saying before. It's struggle could just be going for a run, or struggle could be reading a book, or just doing something difficult. When I was that shy kid, struggle for me was just having a conversation with someone. But the more I do it, the better I become. And it's about, if you can look back in 10 years and just go fuck, I never used to have a conversation with someone. Now I can walk into a room and speak to everyone openly and confidently. That's what you get from struggle, right?
If you say you go to war and you're not scared, you are pretty much lying. Everyone is naturally programmed to fear the loss of their own life, the loss of experiencing a traumatic experience like being shot, being blown up, being set on fire, for example. And again, it's dealing with fear is down to the individual. I tackle them straight on and almost use it to my advantage. At first, suppressing it, hiding it, That's pretty much the go-to answer for everyone. You don't want to be seen as the weak character, as the person that's suffering from PTSD or is fearful of anything, afraid of heights or whatever it may be. After I'd been caught in the fire, I was pretty fearful of fire. In fact, to the degree that I couldn't even stand near a barbecue. I couldn't be around on Guy Fawkes night. It's just one of those things that I sort of stepped back and away from, I shied away from, and that was my fear. Dealing with it was the next stage. After hiding it, people eventually start questioning, well, why is he not standing around the barbecue, or why is he over there when everyone's facing the fireworks that side? So it's the way that you deal with it. You confront that fear. And the way I've confronted it is by hitting it head on, by utilizing whatever it was I was fearful of and turning it totally around and just taking full advantage of the situation by putting myself in that situation again. It's not like I'm going to go and run into a fire and set myself alight again, but what it was becoming a firefighter, where I'd have to now take on the dangers, putting myself, exposing myself to dangers to help other people out that may be in danger themselves. And it's that fear that's led me to now use it as a positive to help other people that could be fearing fire themselves, being stuck in a fire. My biggest fear is being the same as everyone else. Again, you don't want to be governed by your fears, so tackle them head on. Like I've mentioned, it's one of those words that you can turn around, you can overcome, you can create a positive from it. So don't look too deeply into the word fear, rather just look at it head on, give it that nod and go for it, yeah. What I now thrive off of is helping people, whether it be, again, overcoming their demons, or whether it be along their own journeys to transforming their bodies. That's what I've taken my passion and I've turned it into a journey for everyone else. And I help people with online coaching transform their bodies into the best versions of who they can be. So again, helping them face their fears, helping them progress, helping them shake that negativity off, help them change their state of mind. And I think by helping them through motivation, more so than anything, I get the biggest reward ever. And it's seeing them grow, not physically, but as a person.
Thank you so much to Wes Grant and Jay Morton, two guys who have led their lives facing their fears on a daily basis. That is what the military is about. You have to face your fears. So these two are my favorite people to speak about this. Thank you so much to them guys. Facing your fears is going to be a part of trying to be successful. Whether it's in sport, whatever you decide to do, if it requires growth, unless you're already born the greatest at whatever you want to do, it requires growth. And to have growth, you have to step outside of your comfort zone on a daily basis. And the further you can step outside of your comfort zone, the better. And that is about facing your fears. So yeah, I love this video. I love what these guys had to say. And I hopefully you guys can understand about putting yourselves in those positions where you're facing your fears on a day-to-day basis. For me, one exercise I like to do is jump into cold water. It's not pleasant, but mentally you're doing something you don't want to do, facing your fears. And there's so many other ways you can do something that is even more difficult than that. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can buy the Rise and Grind t-shirts, guys. They've just come out, and I'm so happy with the new gym series and the new book that's come out. It's on Mulliganbrothers.com, and that is all down to your support with the clothing brand. You've made this possible, so thank you so much to you guys. And also, if you want to see how I rise and grind on a day-to-day basis, head over to Instagram @JordanMulliganBrother, and you can see what I get up to on a day-to-day basis. Have a blessed and productive day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.